ARVO in Denver. Jennifer, you have a very exciting work on turbidity. What is turbidity? How does it work?
So turbidity refers to the cloudiness of the intraretinal fluid that we see based on an OCT. As you can see here, it's not perfectly clear. So this would be a high turbidity versus a low turbidity eye.
Okay, and you compare it with vitreous.
Yes, so we used an AI algorithm that compared the amount of the cloudiness as compared to the vitreous darkness. And so based on that, we're able to quantify these eyes into low turbidity, medium turbidity, or high turbidity tertiles.
Okay, and what happens?
And so what we found was, interestingly enough, at baseline, the patients who had higher turbidity had lower central subfield thickness, had less intraretinal fluid, and lower levels of leakage compared to those that had low turbidity tertiles at baseline. And you can see all of the baseline factors here. And then what we were curious to see is what happened over time when you treated them with either faricimab or aflibercept. And what we found out was that the amount of decrease and the speed of the decrease was lower initially for the high turbidity tertiles compared to the low turbidity tertiles, which isn't what you would expect. So we thought about it and we said, well, why might that be? Well, it could be that the low turbidity tertile patients have less proteinaceous fluid.
And water.
Exactly, so they can dry up much faster. As you can see here, on average, the speed was much faster to hit the 50% and the low turbidity. Yes, than in the high turbidity tertile.
So in the high turbidity you have cells is inflammation.
We think. We don't really know because we didn't analyze the fluid, right? But interestingly enough, the visual acuities were the same. Yes. And then we were also curious, and we said, well, okay, so it takes a little bit longer, but what happens if you treat with faricimab versus aflibercept? So we compared that, and we found that the first time to achieving a 75% reduction in the amount of the intraretinal fluid occurred sooner for the low turbidity, treatment agnostic, right? So it was at 12 weeks for the low to hit for a 75% reduction versus 24 weeks. That's a big difference, 12 weeks versus 24 weeks. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's a useful biomarker. So when you see your patients, you can tell them if you have high turbidity versus low. It may take a little bit longer, but eventually your vision will be the same and we'll get there, but it might just take a little bit longer.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.